So last night, as I was driving home from hooping, I realized we needed a few things from Walmart. So I zipped on over there and walked in, and inside our Walmart here in Boise at Eagle and Fairview, I think, they have a Burger King in there. And I don't usually do this, but when I saw that Burger King, the idea, I had just shot for a long time. I was soaking wet, kind of sweaty, and it's getting chilly here, so I had put on a sweatshirt, and it had soaked through my sweatshirt. I'm sure I'm sure I just didn't come off very clean. But anyway, as I walked into the Burger King, I noticed there was a guy standing there that looked like, and this is code, looked like he'd lived a hard life. That's what my kids say when somebody looks kind of rough. It looks like he's lived a hard life. And he was finishing up his order, and the guy behind the counter said, "Is there anything else?" And I just interjected myself, and I said, "I tell you what, throw a chocolate shake in there, and I'll buy it all for you." And both of them were very confused. He looked at me, and the cashier looked at me, and I said, "Is that okay if I just buy your dinner real quick?" And he said, "Yeah, that would be great." And I said, "Okay, throw a chocolate shake on there with his order, put it all in one order, and I'll take care of it." And I think the bill was maybe $15. It was nothing, but I remember after we ordered, he was just so confused. I think he didn't know what was going on, so he walked over and sat down and waited for his order. The guy brought me my chocolate shake pretty quick, and I zipped on out of there, and I just went to shop, and I grabbed some toilet paper and milk and, basic stuff. As I was leaving, he was still sitting in there eating, and he was with another dude. It looked like maybe a guy that worked there, so maybe this guy worked there too, but he was off duty. And as I walked by, the guy basically screamed at me, "See you later." He had the biggest grin on his face you've ever seen. And his buddy turned to see who I was. And I walked out of there and I thought, you know what? For $15, I probably made a great friend. Now, I'm sure every time I see this guy from now on, and I'm in Walmart all the time, and I'm assuming he works there, I've got a feeling we're going to be best friends now. But I don't tell you this to brag about what I did as much as, one of my goals for 2025 was to brighten the lives of 1,000 people. And if I can do that for $15, make somebody that happy, why would I not do it? And I challenge you to do the same thing. Find ways to just do simple, kind stuff for people, but it doesn't cost any money for sure. If you want to, you can, but most of the time it doesn't cost any money. Hey, have a great day. Bye.